Now, what in the carnival is going on here? Ladies and gentlemen, we have a group of cruise ship passengers that unfortunately will not be having their cake and eating it too. So for today's cruise news story, we have a couple that was sailing on board the Carnival Paradise, which is currently doing 5-day sailings out of my hometown of Tampa Bay, Florida, and they were celebrating their 1-year anniversary. So while on board during their cruise, they had a nice dinner, and for the dessert, they decided to order some chocolate mousse. But unfortunately, upon arrival, allegedly, the chocolate mousse was covered in mold. I say allegedly here because it's not that it doesn't look like there's mold on the cake. If you're looking at it right now, I can definitely see little bits and pieces of some nasty mold on there. However, I say allegedly because it seems that there is a lot of controversy and a lot of details involved with this particular situation. Also, according to one of the passengers that had to deal with this situation, they're saying when they talked to the staff about the mold on the chocolate mousse, they simply said that, well, they are accountable, the passengers, because they simply didn't eat it fast enough. And unfortunately, due to this, the couple says that they had some stomach issues, a set of diarrhea that they had to take pills for. They had a case of the bubble guts, all due to them allegedly eating the cake that did have mold on it. Now, before I give my personal response and opinion on this topic, I do want to say that I found this story on Carnival's loyalty page on Facebook, the Carnival Very Important Fun Person page, and well, people seem to be very mixed on the matter. You had some people that were calling BS. They're saying there is no way that this is true because a cake does not mold from the inside out. And there are a lot of people that were also agreeing to this. Some people even went as far as to say that the loyal to royal crowd has essentially infiltrated into a Carnival ship, and they're trying to rain on the parade and make the best cruise line in the world look bad. However, you have opposing arguments agreeing with the person that had the moldy chocolate mousse, stating that they were on the Carnival Dream the week prior and they had fruit that they had ordered that also had mold on it. So you have a lot of people that are coming in with different opinions. Somebody also said that this could never happen because of the shelf life of all of the food and perishable items on board, stating that the turnaround is too quick, and meaning that a lot of people are ordering so much food that it does not give time for a lot of the stuff to actually get to that point where there is mold on it. So I did a little bit of investigating, and by that I mean I did a brief Google search to see if cake can actually mold from the inside out. And the result that I got was, if you want to check and see if a cake is molded or not, one way to check, because there are multiple, is to cut the cake and see if there is mold inside. You can also tell by if the cake is slimy and stuff of that nature. So it's hard to say if that argument is really valid and people saying that cake can't mold from inside out. I'm not a scientist. I don't know this stuff for facts. So if you guys know better, let me know in the comment section, because I'm sure it's going to be a topic for debate. But my question is, if this isn't the situation where the cake is actually molded, what in the heck happened? Do you think this couple decided to carry pieces of mold because they are loyal to royal on board the ship with Carnival, and they waited to the opportune moment on the Paradise, meaning their anniversary dinner, to then, I guess, plant the mold on the cake and then blame Carnival for it? I'm a little confused. If this isn't the situation where the cake is actually molded, what exactly happened and how did this happen? Also, something that I want to point out that actually bothers me about this whole situation, and many that actually happen when it comes to Carnival cruise lines. Every time something happens on a Carnival ship, regardless of how big or even minute it is, something extremely minor, everybody seems to type in the chat, call John Held. This is John Held's fault. Send him a letter and all this, right? John Held, if you guys don't know, is the ambassador for Carnival Cruise Line. But my question is, what is he supposed to do in this situation? Sure, I guess he could address it and maybe reach out to somebody or whatnot. However, do you expect him to go on the Carnival Fantasy and taste test the molded chocolate mousse? Even thinking about that, first of all. But it's just funny to me how people try to use John Held as the actual shield, the savior that can, go ahead and save the day and make sure everything's okay. I'll tell you what, in my opinion, if I was in that type of situation, first of all, call it what you want, but I do understand full well that things do happen in this world. And yeah, I know the cruise lines, compared to the rest of the world, and restaurants are held to a higher standard, but you got to understand, it's a giant operation. Some things every now and then may slip slipped through the crack, as unfortunate as it is. I would contact the manager, and yeah, I would see maybe what could be done about it, but I'm not going to be like, oh, I need a free cruise. You know, some people do that. It's insane to me. But there's only so much that can be done. You have to have the understanding that there is a gigantic international operation when it comes to the food and the vendors and everything that goes in between that. And maybe it's not a Carnival issue. Maybe it's a staffing issue where somebody that is in charge of maybe the bakery didn't exactly check the dates and see what cake was actually valid, when it was made, all that other stuff that goes into food and the hospitality business. This is a reason why I would never get into this kind of stuff. But either way, guys, I'm going to leave it right here. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section below, because this is a doozy. Do you think this is a Carnival issue? Or maybe if this is actually the case where the cake was legitimately molded, somebody unfortunately in the bakery dropped the ball, and this is a situation that we're dealing with, and it really isn't as big of a deal as people are possibly making it out to be on this thread or this page, this argument that's happening right now on the Carnival loyalty page on Facebook. Either way, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit that like button on your way out, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and just know that I love each and every single one of you. I'll see you later. Take it easy.